All right. So we have your underlying energy as the King of Swords. This is a card that can be an individual, could be an air sign, Gemini, um, Libra, Aquarius. You as well. Um, so if this is you, I feel like Aquarius, you are the underlying energy is you're trying to find yourself. Okay. Um, if this is somebody else, this is somebody who um, is very intelligent, very cutthroat, very straight to the point. Okay, it's very intelligent, knowledgeable, knows what's going on. And look, he's in the throne, but he's still suited up in armor. His sword is held high. He's ready for battle again if he has to. Okay, battle of wits if need be. This could also represent somebody in authority, like say a police officer or a judge or an attorney, even somebody who has knowledge about something, specifically um, that you would consider an authority figure. So this is going to sort of ribbon itself through the month of September for you, Aquarius. And again, this could just be your energy, you trying to find your way through the month of September. So let's see how this is playing out. We're starting off the month with the Ten of Wands, and this is speaking about sort of that burdened energy that you've maybe picked up more than you can carry. But this is the 10. This is the end of a long burdened, heavily shouldered, situation. So you're coming to the end of that. You can see the castle is in the background here. So you have to know, Aquarius, that you've picked up stakes and moved on, and you're almost there. Okay, you're almost there. This is the 10. You are at the end. Okay, so the end of this struggle, the end of this burden. You'll be able to set these wands down, these burdens down very soon. Okay, and this is happening beginning of September. So I feel like for a great deal of you, you won't actually be setting these burdens down until maybe second week in September, second week to mid-month perhaps. You may still be feeling that burdened energy of, good God, what have I gotten myself into type thing. But again, you're trying to find yourself. You're trying to find the truth in who you are and what you need and what makes you tick and what you are passionate about. This is, this Ten of Wands is finding your passion, picking it up, and just going for it. Okay, so again, by first, second week in September, you're really going to feel the weight of this burden has been lifted. And I have to say, this is also something that you've chosen. Okay, you chose to carry those wands. You chose those. So perhaps by second week in September, you might decide some of those burdens aren't yours to carry, right? So that may lighten the load a bit. Now, by mid-month, we have the Star card. And the Star card speaks about, this is your card, Aquarius. This is the major arcana associated with Aquarius. This speaks to being in a position of complete surrender, okay? Naked, pouring your heart out, purging all that, has been in you. It's very emotional. It's very energetic. It's very cleansing, okay? This is the point of surrender where all you have left is hope, okay? This is also known as the Hope card. This is, basically, put yourself in this person's position, naked, pouring your emotions out, looking at the stars going, that's it. I can't take it anymore. I give, right? I call uncle. Um, this is the stars lining up for you. This is the card that's showing you, yes, there is hope. But this is after having carried this heavy burden, right? You've carried such a heavy burden. You've just stripped yourself of everything that you're carrying, everything you have on, and you're like, that's it. I can't take anymore. Okay? So know that by mid-month, there is a point of surrender, but that there is hope. Because by the end of the month, you might be feeling a bit isolated, a bit sort of frozen out. Now, I have to explain, this Five of Pentacles is very, it's one of those cards where you feel like there is lack. You feel frozen, okay? As you can see in the depiction here, it's a lone tree. Of course, there's money on it, right? There's coins on it. I don't know. My mom always said money didn't grow on trees, but there's there's coins on this one. But it's a very wintry, icy scene. Now, you know that trees don't die in the winter, right? They just need to. They need that freeze. They need that hibernation. They need that cold in order to flourish in the spring. So when you get to this Five of Pentacles, when you've busted out of the stability and solid foundation of a four, four is very stable and solid. It can also be very, walls closing in on you. So when you bust out of that, you might feel some isolation. You have to bust out in order to get change, right? So, perhaps by the beginning of the month, you carrying this burden to the point of surrender, right? You're just like, I can't take it anymore. You might be feeling a little isolated, okay? You might feel like you've been abandoned emotionally. You've been abandoned financially, broken. You might feel like spiritually, however you worship or whether you do or don't, you might feel like just the universe is just not hearing you. Okay, you might just feel lack. But the truth of the matter is there is no lack. It's there. You just feel like there is. And part of that feeling of lack may be because you have somebody that is overbearing, that is, speaks his own truth or her own truth. And not that it's wrong, but there is some type of authority figure, somebody that you hold in a high position, whether it's, somebody who holds a high position in society, or maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a father figure, or grandparent. Maybe there's some type of hierarchy that this person is saying, you know what, you didn't need all that. You didn't need all of these sticks. And look, now you're all by yourself, right? So this person might be giving you a little bit of grief. Okay. Now let's move on to what's going to help you this month, Aquarius, because we have the King of Wands. Okay, the King of Wands is, if this is a person for you, this is Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. This is a fire sign. This is definitely a spunky, spontaneous, athletic, passionate, maybe a little hot-headed person. Okay, and maybe, Aquarius, this is the energy that you need to embrace that will help you push through this. Maybe you need to find the passion and the fire inside of you. Okay? Maybe this is your significant other, male or female, that just kind of found the fire and the passion and decided to sit on their own throne, right? Like, look, this is my life. I chose to carry these wands up the hill, and now I'm in my castle. And you're going to claim that throne and you're going to sit on it, right? Okay? So that's coming as a help to you, this passion, this fire, this desire. Don't forget what it is that you started out wanting so badly here with this Ten of Wands. You started out on this quest, carrying all of these things that you are passionate about. Okay? Willingly carrying a burden, knowing it is going to be a burden for a while. You did that willingly, okay? Don't forget why. And that's what this energy is going to remind you of. See how red this card is? This is passion. This is go-getting type energy. This is don't forget the fire in your belly. You know, let it burn, okay? Use that energy. This could, again, come in the form of a person who has those qualities, whether they're a fire sign or not. But I really feel, Aquarius, this is you having to sort of claim your own stake and sit on your own throne, okay? This is you having to say, you know what? You may rule your roost, I rule mine, okay? And so that's going to help you get through this month. Because Aquarius, the challenging energy is going to be the Three of Wands. Okay? It's not as big of a challenge even as this Ten of Wands, right? The Three is so much smaller. But the challenge in this card is that there's anticipation and some hesitation. Okay? Ships are coming in. Well, they're coming and going, right? So we have this person looking out, knowing that there's stuff going on, happening, and that's a challenge for you. You're waiting. Maybe it's the patience that is the biggest challenge for you this month, Aquarius. Maybe it's knowing that soon things are going to be so much better, but it's that interim time, right? It's that time between now and whenever the end of soon is, right? I remember getting messages from other readers and people in general. They would say, "Oh, don't worry, it'll turn around soon." And I remember telling my friend, if I hear the word soon one more time, I'm going to absolutely explode, right? Because this waiting can be very anxiety inducing, okay? This is, you've already put together something that could be very beautiful and flourish, but you have to wait, okay? And that's the challenge. Therein lies the challenge, okay? So you've got the fiery energy. You want to move. This is a fast-moving energy as well. And then you have to wait. So the moving energy is helping you, and then the waiting is going to be a challenge. So keep moving, Aquarius, because your final focus card is the Ace of Cups. Okay, so this is a card that is, it holds the seeds of all that is loving and fulfilling. This is, some people refer to this as blessings from heaven. This is, my cup runneth over. This is fulfillment in every way, shape, and form. In the way that this is feeling lack in every way, shape, and form, this is fulfillment in every way, shape, and form. Okay? This is, all of the elements plus spirit. So there's, financial lack. There's lack in communication. There's lack in inspiration. And there's lack in emotional fulfillment. And there's lack in spirituality, okay? Or the feeling of. Here, we have 5 streams. There's 2 over here of fulfillment, of overflowing spiritual fulfillment, overflowing emotional fulfillment, overflowing financial fulfillment, overflowing knowledge and communication, overflowing passion and inspiration. Okay, so you're starting off the month, and again, the timeline, although I laid them out beginning, mid, and end, I feel like I really feel like, this is something that's already happened. This is, by the end of August, you've already carried this load. Okay. So, beginning of September, you already know you've been carrying a heavy burden. So I really feel like this star card, the first week or so of September, you are already at a point of surrender. You are already at a point of, please let there be hope. You're already sort of praying to the heavens, to the stars, saying, if there's anything bigger than me out there, please help, right? I feel like this is really the first, maybe second week in September, but truly I just feel like this is more first week. And I feel like this is more mid-month, okay? Because I feel like there's like this waiting, this resting period, right? Even the landscape looks a little similar here. I feel like there's this kind of cooling off period where there's no communication, there's no financial gain, there's no love happening, right? It's stagnant. So I feel like this is more mid-September, because I really do feel like the end of September you're going to get your wish fulfillment here. This is the beginning of emotional fulfillment. Whether it ends up being physical, in a financial way, whether it's fulfillment with passion and inspiration, or whether it's fulfillment with knowledge and intelligence and communication, and also spiritual. Okay, whether it's one or the other, or whether it's all of, you are ending the month of September on a very fulfilled note.